I used to live in Richmond, Virginia, when I was in high school, and later, and that's actually a very nice place. But there's a place called South Richmond, South Side Richmond, which is can be really rough.
Right.
It's known for fist fighting, gang fighting,
Okay.
ass kicking, like boy, we gonna kick your ass, boy. Like that kind of stuff. So we're playing it, and I'm in high school or in college, and I'm trying to play jazz. We're in a band where we're trying to play Wayne Shorter tunes and stuff. So, and I'm sure it sounded terrible, but we're trying to play stuff like Fall and
Right.
Nefertiti, and,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
not even, Hello Dolly or Mercy, 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 but really, it was. So when we're playing this redneck bar, and some guy comes up to me and goes, "Hey, can you all play Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry?" And I said, "Well, we're a jazz group. We don't really play that. We don't really play Johnny Be Good." And he said, "Well, I don't think you understand me correctly. If you don't play Johnny Be Good, people are gonna hurt you." So I went, you know, so I've
You got away
always
with it.
what?
You got away with it.
Yeah, I can play the shit out of Johnny Be
Yeah,
Good.
yeah,
I
yeah,
play
yeah,
it in
yeah.
South Carolina now.
I mean, talking of which, it seems that you've moved back to your kind of blues and rock roots more so in the last few years.
Well, I mean, New York sort of, I have, and New York sort of exists on its own terms
Right.
as a play, and probably some other places like that.
Yeah.
London, maybe Chicago,
Okay.
Los Angeles, somewhat, or as places where you can really play jazz, real jazz, and
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
and do some gigs and get some, and maybe touring. But most of the places in the United States, um, you really, I mean, you don't really have, you have to play other stuff if you want to work.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And also, I mean, luckily for me, I like that, some of that stuff. So that is my roots. And when before I played guitar, I used to sing, and my father used to take me around to radio stations, and I'd sing a song on the radio
Okay.
in Detroit.
Right.
And then that probably sounded awful too, but cute little kid, and they'd take, I'd sing like a Frank Sinatra or Perry Como song
Right.
on the radio, and then I stopped because then later on in Detroit, if you're like a guitar player and you're just like blasting away at some power chords, like you're Ted Nugent or the MC5 or something, you're cool. But if you're a singer, that's kind of like, that's like what a
Yeah.
girl does or something.
Yes.
So
Bit
I
lame.
didn't do it. So I just played for years, but lately the last 10 years I've been singing on the gig, and I've started out, it was pretty rough, but I've gotten better and better. And in South Carolina, everybody sings,
Right.
and people, you know, it's not a big thing to sing a song on a gig. And
What was it like? Like when you first came back? Like, did that first gig on vocals? Were you terrified?
yeah, oh, and at first, after a while, you learn how to, vocal is not, you don't have anything to refer to physically.
Yeah. Right.
So to hit that first note, is hard at first, but then you just kind of get used to doing
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you realize that if you don't do it exactly right, nobody cares. You can do it again, and and it's a lot more fun than just playing. I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
doing it, and where I live, it's a big strip of beach, and there's a guy that I know that has a website called Myrtle Beach Live, and he lists all the gigs up and down the beach, most of them. And between, this is a place where there's about 500,000 people, give or take, and up and down. There on any given from any given Thursday to Sunday, he lists about 350 gigs.
Wow.
There's a lot.
That's incredible.
But if I were to just play jazz, straight ahead jazz, I would work about 4 times a year. And then there's also there's places that are close. There's some jazz in Charleston.
Yeah.
And then there's I'm close to Wilmington, North Carolina.
Okay.
There's some really good jazz musicians there.
Right.
That's where Joe Chambers is from, and
Right.
But
you're cool. I mean, you're cool living somewhere like that. You don't want to move closer to, I don't know, New York or something like that.
No, I mean, I was in New York for 34 years.
Okay, yeah.
And getting out of New York was sort of like getting out of prison for me. And I have other interests. I have a house now with a driveway and a yard. And I told you on the way over here, I like cars.
Yes.
I have a Ford Mustang
great.
and a 1987 Toyota Supra.
Okay.
And I like to work on it, and so I couldn't do that in
New
like
York,
New York. It's too expensive, and I don't just live my life for ting ting-a-ling on the cymbal anymore. So it was great to do it, but and doing that there. I mean, then I'm itching to play some jazz again. If I'm hoping to, if I come over here, I'm starting to travel. I have a bunch of gigs up in Chicago this summer, which I've never really explored that much. So hopefully I'll get to do a little of both. And there are some jazz things happening, but I don't, living there, it's kind of boring, but I don't really miss like a big city at all.
Right.
I mean, today in London, the weather, that would be the worst day of the winter in Myrtle Beach. That'd be the worst day. It's like beautiful. You walk outside and feel the warm sun on your back. And it's.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah.
I know you probably, that's a concept to you, but it's a reality to me.
We do have some nice days.
I know. I've been here when it's nice before.
Yeah.
I'm really happy to be back here and to be able to do those gigs now.
So. Oh, I'm sorry with it. I didn't manage to get you anything, but next time.
I hope so. I hope we could play together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some more, and with the rhythm.
Talking of which, I mean, maybe we should play another tune.
Let's play another tune. It seems like it's calmed down.
Yeah.
What's another one we could do?
I go on. You come up with one. If I know it,
okay,
I'll say.
I'll remember April.
Okay.
Or All the Things You Are. Or
either of those are fine.
Okay. I'll remember April.
Okay.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.